And so I didn't know that Brother Minister Willie had Central Standard Time. So it's okay. I just have to give this lecture twice. But let me say this, dear family, those of you who took time out your busy schedule, we'd like to share with you why we are giving this series of lectures. Brother Student Minister Willie was instrumental in convincing me that I need to use the gift that God has given me to help to inspire people and motivate people who are in positions of leadership or authority, that they may be very much inspired to be champions, to be motivated to be great helpers and great servants in the work that they're doing. So when he asked me, he said, brother, what would you like to be your subject? And it was kind of difficult, so I thought about a speech that I've given many, many years ago when I did a tour, and it was called the Champion Tour. And I couldn't find nothing more befitting to share with you today than a 9-part series as we share with you what makes a champion. We have to be very honest that when you look at the nation, which I am a member of, we have some great champions and have had some great champions that this man, Mr. Muhammad, has been responsible through his teachings in making. We had champions like some you may know, some you may not know. But we had champions like Malcolm X, champions like Imam Ward-Din Muhammad, champions like Abdul Khalid Muhammad, champions like Minister Louis Farrakhan, champions like Brother Ishmael, Brother Minister Akbar, Sister Ava, and we can go on, and these are the great champions that has been produced by this great teaching. And to ignore, and I forgot to mention, the great Muhammad Ali. Now all these men and women that I named may have had some influence on you, whether you be a Christian or whether you be a Muslim, whether you be white or whether you be black, whether it be Jew or whether you be Gentile. These men that I named, one of these may have had an impact on you. Most certainly if you've been a sports figure and a boxer, you can't tell me that Muhammad Ali didn't have no impact on you. Well, I thought we would share with you. I was in Louisville, Kentucky, and I was on a radio show, and someone asked me when they called in, they said, Brother Muhammad, could you share with me how is it that every time I see the brothers on the corner, they're always so sharp, they're always so well-mannered, they're always so well-disciplined. I mean, could you share with us what is it that makes you men the way you are? And I thought about it. I've never thought about it in the sense of answering the question, but it was a good question. And I said, well, brother, you like asking me that is like asking us what is the recipe for the bean pie. We're not going to give you the recipe. More than you're going to give me the recipe of your mother's famous peach cobbler. I said, but if you come out to the meeting tonight, I'm going to share with you this recipe. And that evening, we had a real nice crowd. And I had to make my word bond. And so that was the beginning of my first lecture titled Muhammad Makes Champions. Now, as I go into this 9-part series, I want to break down each letter. Each letter in the word champion represents a principle. And so today, we chose the first letter, which is the letter C, which stands for confidence. Now, let's look at the word champion itself. Champion is the only word, maybe you knew this, maybe you didn't, that does not have an opposite. That's something. You say, well, champion means winner. Well, the opposite of winner is loser. But the champion means first. That means the opposite is last. Champion is described or given the definition by 3 things I want to talk about the definition that is in Webster. Number 1, one who fights for a cause is a champion. Number 2, any winner who takes first place. Number 3, the best. Well, if we talk about any one of those definitions, then the next question, as we deal with the letter C, is that what makes a champion the first principle, what made us the men, or the man that I am is striving to be, as we answer that question of that caller, what is it that makes us disciplined? What is it that makes us well-mannered? What is it that makes us the men and women that the nation produce? Then I'm going to use the first principle, which is confidence. Confidence. What is confidence? Confidence means to believe in one's own power or ability. To be confident is to believe in your own ability to do. Well, no one wants to follow any leader that's not confident. No one wants to be led by anyone who lacks confidence. What makes confidence? What gives one confidence? To get confidence means that you must be secure in what you know or be secure in your knowledge. It is the security of what you know that produces the confidence in you. If you don't know nothing, how could you be confident in anything? So one of the key things that Mr. Muhammad did when I came, and I'm speaking to me now, we have people on this line. I don't know who's on this line, but we have Christians, we have Muslims, we may have some whites, we may have some blacks, we may have some Jews, we may have some Gentiles, we may have some straights. I don't know who's listening to this. But please, please, don't get hung up on how I'm telling you how I arrived to be the man that I am. Now, don't get hung up on how I arrived. I'm just sharing with you what made me the man that I am and constantly striving to be. All right. When I came into the nation, I was 18 years old. I'm 59 to be 60 by the grace of God in March. But I was 18. Young thug hoodlum, running the streets, stopped out in the 9th grade, on my way like every young man that lacks good education, to jail. I had no confidence in what I knew. I had confidence in street knowledge. I was secure in street knowledge. I was secure in what I know. I was confident in the confident game until someone came with actual facts and shattered my world confidence by showing me what I thought I knew. I didn't know jack. And when somebody came to show me what I thought I knew is what I didn't really know and how ignorant I really was, that shook my confidence. So I began to enroll myself into the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, and then I began to learn. Look what he given us. Those who are in the nation on the phone, you know the lessons. But let me share the lessons with those who may not know what we are taught. When you come in as a new member, you must go and enroll yourself as a student. So the first lesson that we were given was called student enrollment. And the first question, now listen now remember now, I'm a young thug. I thought I knew something. When I got to talking to those brothers, they showed me how ignorant I really was. So now they got my attention. Now, the first question this man, Mr. Muhammad, asked us in a lesson. Listen to this. Now, I'm not saying this to offend anybody. I'm just telling you what made me the way I am. Let's get past, all of the rhetoric that you may disagree with the teacher. We can pass it. Please, family. I'm not saying this to convert no one or to offend anyone. I'm just stating a fact of what touched me to make me the man I am. Please. He asked the question, who is the original man? Now, if a person asks you a question like that, you either know the answer or they answer you the question to see that you don't know the answer. And if they ask you a question, then if you don't know the answer, I really want to know the answer. And when the question was asked, who's the original man, that never crossed my mind. That was nothing I ever thought about. Everybody just come and ask you a question like, hey, brother, hey, who's the original man? I don't know. And that's clearly what I said. I don't know. And then Mr. Muhammad gives us an answer. The original man is the Asiatic black man, the maker, the owner, cream of the planet Earth, God of the universe. Now, wait a minute now. Now, listen. To me, wow, that's heavy. But the next question is, you got to make me believe that. It's good that if you tell a man what he is, but if he don't believe that, it don't amount to nothing. You can sit there and look at a man and say, hey, man, do you know that you're a king? And that man could be raggedy as a fuck of greens and naked as all outdoors. And you tell him, you know he's a king? He going to look at you. Yeah, all right, buddy. Okay, yeah, show, partner. That don't mean nothing to a person that's naked, hungry, raggedy, and out of doors. But if you can show me and prove to me that I am that, and then once you prove to me and show me I am that, and I believe it, then my actions and behavior would change. So when Mr. Muhammad said to us, that training, that we are the original man, father, the maker, the owner, cream of the planet, God of the universe, that's deep. That's deep. Now you got to make me believe that, well, if I'm the owner, the maker, then what am I making I own? If you're going to tell me I'm an owner, then clearly I got to know what I own. So that he comes with another part of the lesson. What is the square mileage of the planet Earth? How much is land? How much is water? Now listen, I dropped out in the ninth grade, and believe me, to be honest with you, the only reason why I got that far is because the teachers did not want to have me in their class for next year, as much hell I was causing, so they just kept passing me. We don't want this dude left behind because he was trouble. So really, to say ninth, maybe I had a seventh or eighth. But one thing I was not good in, and that was math. Math was something I was not good in. So when a man told me and asked me the question, what is the square mileage of the planet Earth, how much is land and how much is water, I went to Scooby-Doo on him. I don't know, because I didn't know. But then he gives us the answer. The square mileage is 196,940,000 square miles. The land is 57,255,000 square miles. The water is 139,685,000 square miles. I didn't know that. I'm not reading from nothing when I quote that to you. We had to learn that by heart. Well, you know, you can't just tell somebody that's what the planet is and they don't go and check and see if it's actual facts. Because if Mr. Muhammad's telling us a lie, I can't be secure or confident or secure in a lie. No one could be secure in knowledge that's a lie, because as soon as the truth comes, there goes your confidence. There goes your security. So in order for me to be secure and confident that I could stand on that, I must know that to be actual facts. And once I've learned it is actual facts, which is actual knowledge, oh, snap, I now become confident. So now the man that used to walk with his head down is a young man now, is secure in the knowledge that he's getting. So now you see my head up, and a lot of you, when you see the brothers walking, you can tell when the brothers and the sister a mile away, look how they walk. We say they walk with that 196,940,000 square miles walk. That's our walk. Well, what you mean that's a 196,940,000 square miles? That is a walk of a confident man. That is a walk of an owner. So when you see us walking, we walking like an owner. There's something about a person that has that owner's swag. When you go to a restaurant, you can tell who the owner is. He ain't got to open up his mouth. You could be eating and you can look and hit your wife's head. I bet you he's the owner. How do you know he's the owner? Look how he carries himself. Look how he's confident in how he's walking and talking. And then he comes over to your table. How you doing today? How's the food? Okay. Is the servant real good? Is he serving? Yes, he is, sir. Thank you. Excuse me, sir. Are you the owner? Yes, I am. I could tell. See, you can tell who the owner is. He cares himself. So when you see those of us in the nation, you see their attitude. We walk like an owner. Well, let me tell you something. You can't sit there and be no owner and don't know what you own. You can't tell me I'm an owner and then I don't know what I own. Say I lost my wallet. I go up to the man and say, excuse me, sir. I left here and I left my wallet. And then the man says, oh, yeah, somebody turned this certain wallet in. Do you think he's just going to give it to me? No. He's going to ask me to do it. He's going to ask me to describe it. It makes sense. Because if I'm the owner, I should know what's in it. If I'm the owner, you describe what you own? Well, it's a leather wallet. It has a $20 bill tucked in this thing. I have my picture. I have a credit card. It's this, that, this. He look at it. Say, well, you described it right, so you must be the owner. One of the greatest principles of what to be a champion is you must be secure in what you know. And the more, listen, the more you study, the more that you apply yourself to knowledge, the more secure you become. When I got into the martial arts, man, I didn't know nothing about no kicks and blocks. Man, can you imagine how I just got whooped up in the class trying to learn kicks and blocks? I should have blocked. But the more I applied myself to know, and the more I knew, the more I got secure in what I know. And now, you didn't want to get before Brother Dennis now that he's secure in what he knows, because you ain't going to throw no kicks that I can't block. So I've become more secure, so you got that swagger when you know. Come on, brother, let's kumitate. Now, Brother Dennis, last time, you didn't know how to pull that punch. But what I'm saying, when you start a job, you don't know nothing about what they teaching you. Most of the time when we get on the job, we got to fake it till we make it. We got to make them think that we do know something. Do you know how to run that forklift? Yeah, I know how to run. I ain't never run a forklift in your life. But you're going to jump on there and you're going to learn it. Just going to skirt a little bit. Then after a week or two, man, you doing cartwheels and wheelies with the daggone forklift. Because the more you know, the more secure that you know, the more confident you become in what you know. In the word confident, you can't be confident unless you are consistent. Because once a person is confident, they are consistent. So in the word confident, you got the word consistent. You can't sit there and say, I'm confident in something, and then next week I'm not consistent in what I know. That's not confident. So consistency comes with confidence. People don't follow nobody that's not confident. What you look like, we on a daggone battlefield, and we got some jackass lieutenant, captain, or squad leader who wants to lead us in the battle. And we standing there and we ask him, well, listen, Sarge, what's the game plan? Well, wait a minute. You seen he got the paper out, he's shaking, the paper upside down, he's turning, you're looking at it. And you say, oh, no, hell to the no, I'm not following this dude in the battle. He ain't even confident. But if you sit there and look at a man and he asks you, you ask him, what is the game plan? We taking that hill, sir. Well, Sarge, there's a lot of men, I don't care. We're going to win. See, if you hear in the commander's voice confidence, it is his confidence that makes you follow him. That's why as a leader or those in authority, you can't get nobody to follow you if you're a jackass. Ain't nobody going to follow you with lack of experience and you not confident in what you know. You are a confident dummy. And people don't follow jackasses. Or at least they shouldn't. But what is my point? If you're a Christian, you come into the church as a new member. You're a Muslim. You come into mosque as a new member. You ain't confident with the lesson. You're fascinated by those who can quote it backwards and forwards. You become fascinated by those Christians, preachers who can quote that Bible. You don't want to get in no debate with anybody that know the scripture. You make a fool out yourself. You don't get in a debate with somebody that know the Quran. You make a fool out yourself, especially when you don't know. They've been in the book for 30 years, 20 years they've been a Christian. You just come into the church yesterday. You just come in the mosque yesterday. You don't know nothing. You ain't been tried and tested. And then all of a sudden, man, you want to act like you know something, and then somebody just come and just smash you and just shake your little confidence. So you just best to study. Become a good student. The more you learn, listen, Brother Dennis is not the same man I was 41 years ago. Remember, family, I'm not saying this to offend nobody while I'm telling you about Mr. Muhammad T. I'm just telling you what he done to change me. That's all I'm saying. Because remember this, all growth is change, but all change is not necessarily growth. I'm going to say that again. All growth is change, but all change is not necessarily growth. Brother Dennis have grown, family, and because I have grown, I have changed. And I thank God because I'm constantly applying myself to knowledge. I'm constantly trying to get better at my craft. I am the founder of the Peacekeepers. Brother Dennis is confident in what I know about my dedication about gun and violence. I know my craft. Brother Dennis is a law enforcement sensitivity trainer. I'm confident in what I know. You're not going to put me in a ring in the center of all these law enforcement and I get nervous and start stuttering. No, sir, not Brother Dennis. I'm confident in what I know. And you put me in the presence of any of them, hey, they're going to see the confidence, and that's what's going to make them follow some of the things I'm saying because they're going to say, that man is confident. He ain't shaking up there like drugstore dice. He knows what he knows. And I don't go and talk about something I don't know. That's a fool that does that. So what we're saying is being a champion is understanding the principles. And the first principle of the C is confidence. to be secure in what you know. Once you become secure in what you know, then you have belief in your own ability to do. That's power. I've walked with the Honorable Minister Farrakhan, and I can't even tell you how many people that God has blessed me to go with that man in all these arenas, the biggest crowd was 2 million. But every time I step outside that curtain and that man, Minister Farrakhan, is walking behind me, man, I walk out there and see all these crowd of people, man, I start shaking like drugstore dice. I'm nervous and I ain't even got to speak. But when the minister step out there, man, that man comes out there so confident. Oh, man. And he comes out there secure in what he knows. He's secure in his knowledge of God. You can't shake that man from his tree because you can't shake him with nothing but truth. He's secure in truth. You can't be secure in a lie. You can't be secure in falsehood. I'm like Wesley. Man, let me tell you, I love eating pork. I'm not going to lie to you. When I came in the nation, before I came in the nation, I loved the pig from the tutor to the snooter. Hey, you're going to get me to stop eating pork, right? Hey, how you going to get me to stop eating pork? Just because, we don't eat pork? Well, that just ain't going to swing with me. That just ain't going to fly. You got to explain to me, show me why pork's not good for me. Because I like pork. Now, if you want to change my behavior, you got to shake my security and confidence in pork. And the only way you can shake my confidence and security in eating pork is that you got to show me actual facts. And when they start breaking the actual facts down about the pig, they shook my confidence in the pig. And then from there, I changed. People are not going to change their way of life because you say so. You're not going to give up smoking, drinking, and acting a fool just because somebody say that's not good. And if you're a good Christian, and if you're a good Muslim, you may say, well, I don't drink. Well, that's good for you. Well, I don't smoke. That's good for you. I don't chase men. I don't chase women. That's double good for you. I don't lie. That's good for you. I don't steal. That's good for you. But what do you do for God? Huh? If we have 6 billion people on this planet, what would make God, out of 6 billion people, show you goodness and mercy, or show us grace and mercy, forgiveness? Just because we don't drink or smoke? I just think it got to be a little bit more than that. But I think we have to constantly make ourselves relevant to God. And how do you make yourself relevant to God? We got to be able to help other people. Go beyond yourself and help other people. You can't help nobody if you're not secure in what you know. And that's the key to the success of how we're able to get the blessings of God. Look at the words. The Christians, I was hearing a preacher the other day, and I love this part he said. He said, listen, man, in the book of Psalms, most of you Christians, y'all know this, it says, goodness and mercy shall follow you all the days of your life. But if you say follow, that means somebody has to be in front. If goodness and mercy follows us all the days of our life, then that means God has our back. And he do have our back as long as we keep God's name out front. God has our back as long as we keep his name out front. I bet you a donut to $1 if you keep Satan's name out front, you ain't going to have no goodness and mercy following you. God ain't got your back in evil and wickedness. I guarantee you ain't no goodness and mercy following you, and if you out following Satan. So my point is when we recognize the knowledge that secures us, it gives us the confidence we need in order to be good servants good leaders, good helpers. So if you got people following you, you the supervisor in the correction facility, you the sergeant on the desk, you the supervisor in his nursery, you the captain in the mines, you the lieutenant in the mines, you the deacon in the church, whatever you are, pastor, bishop, minister, imam. People are not going to follow nobody if they don't display confidence. And the only way you can display confidence is that you be secure in what you know. And only God can give that kind of security. Don't be secure as a fool. Be secure in the knowledge of God. That is what made us the men that you admire. The women that you see who are called the MGT, it's because we have been given a teaching. And the first of the teachings was a lesson, and that lesson secured us to be something. So you can't tell me, man, you go to me, I'm ragged, I'm outdoors naked, and you tell me, listen, man, you're a king. Hey, you got to prove to me, because once you tell me I'm a God, I'm going to start acting like one. Now, I'm not the God, but I'm a God. So the Bible says we all children, we all God's children of the Most High. So I'm not the God, but I'm a, because my Father is God, and I come from my Father. But my point is, see, confidence. That was one of the first principles that put us on the path to become a champion. Remember now, there's 7 more now. And next time we get on this conference call, which will be next Thursday, God willing, I know it's Thanksgiving Day, I know it's Turkey Day. We're talking about 7:30 Eastern Standard Time. I'm sorry, Brother Willie, we got to keep it East Coast time. Eastern Standard Time. You should have been there, had your turkey, should feel pretty good. Now you want to get some nice spiritual food, some motivating food. Well, I'm going to be on this conference call next Thursday, and I'm going to break down to you the next principle, which is the H. I'm not going to tell you what the H stands for. Oh, but you're going to love it, because as we built these 8-9 series, oh, my goodness, you're just going to be waiting like you be waiting for the other episode of Scandal to come on. You're going to be waiting like you be waiting on the episode of Boardwalk. You're going to be waiting. But that's okay, because we want you to tune in and then have a friend tune in. Because when we get through, oh, my goodness, you're going to say, that's me. I really thank you so much for taking time out your busy schedule. I hope sincerely that I did not offend no one. I didn't mean to offend no one. And as I was trying to explain, but even though they have